Hello, my friend. I'm doing a tutorial painting today, and as you can see behind me, this is the painting that we're going to do. This is fun. Remember, this is fun. We're having a good time, right? We're letting go of stress, okay? So don't stress them. I am painting in acrylics, and I will put all the supplies, the list, in the description below so you can see what you need. But before I start, I just want to say, don't worry about making it perfect. In fact, don't worry at all. Just have fun. There are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents. Don't get discouraged, whatever you do. This is going to be fun. All right then, let's get started. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wet my canvas. And you can do this with your brush, or you can do like I do and just use the spray bottle to spray some water on there. And spread it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my brush wet. I have my palette here with my blue paint. I only put out one color of paint at a time because acrylics dry really fast, so it's better if you don't have them all out at once. Now in this painting, I have clouds. I'm going to show you how to do those, and it's really fast, so you have to pay attention, okay? You can pause, of course, since this is a video, you can pause. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting the blue across, and I'm just going to go back and forth and go down the canvas. Now, the way you put the clouds in is you use your towel, and I scrunch up a little bit, and I start by just tapping out. And what it's doing is it's taking the paint off the canvas to create your clouds. And if you're having trouble, if your paint is already drying on you, what you can do is get your brush rinsed off, get all the paint out of it, and you can come in and just dab your brush on those clouds a little bit, and you can kind of see how the white is poking through. So next I'm going to need my brown paint. I'm just dabbing a little bit on there. I don't need a ton because I'm going to water it down quite a bit. This painting was a little bit dark with the brown, so I don't really want to make it that dark. So now the brown, I'm going to dip my brush in some water and water down. So I'm just coming in, starting at that line where the sky ended. And then I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of this. So I'm going to have a little hill here. So what I'm doing is I've rinsed the brush of all the paint, and I'm using a damp brush to pull the brown paint off that will give me my lines. And you can just keep wiping your brush on the towel to get the paint out as you go. If you need a little more water, that'll help too. Another thing I'm going to do is make it a little bit darker behind this hill. looking at this and I'm not really liking this color, so I don't know. Let me go back over this. Decided to add the red back in, and actually it works because if you put the blue in first, then the red has its shading already done. If you put the red in first, then you have to come back in with the gray to do some shading around the edges, and it just works better to have that blue down first, or the gray, I should say, Paynes gray. And then darken the tires with another coat of the gray. White over the headlights to brighten them up a little bit. And then putting the people in the truck, basically it's the back of the head, so it's kind of an oval with a little hair on it. Very simple shapes. And then I'm coming in with the yellow and painting in my taillights and my license plates. Since I'm in New Mexico, I have a yellow license plate. Next is the trees and the bushes, and I'm just starting with the regular green out of the bottle. I'm using my big brush to tap the shapes on. Change the direction of your brush while you do this so that it doesn't have like a patterned effect with your branches. So now I've mixed a little bit of a darker green. I'm using my Paynes gray with the green to mix it a little darker. I'm using the edge of my bigger brush to just dab in some little bushes here and there. This is a desert scene, so you can put the bushes, or you can do like the other example painting there and put in more green grass, so for a more lush landscape. So now I'm starting in with the grass, and right now it's just brush strokes, a little bit yellow added to the green, and just suggestions of grass right now, just little sections of where the grass is. So just using little strokes to represent the grass. It's not going to be perfect, it's just a suggestion of grass. As you get closer to the viewer, you're going to use a little bit longer grass strokes. And you can spend a lot of time on this if you want. You can add grass all the way back to the background, but really in the foreground you want it more detailed than in the background, so just a little suggestion of grass back there. Now I'm taking some yellow and putting in some wildflower patches. In the background you really don't need any detail, you just want some patches of yellow here and there to suggest the flowers. Now I'm putting a little texture in the road, just using a little brown with maybe a little yellow. Put in some lines on the road for the ruts, the tire ruts. And you can put a little texture around that as well. And then I'm putting a little shadow under the tires using that Paynes gray. Also a little shadow on the tree, just along the edge on one side. Not a lot. Just enough to shade it and make it look more rounded. And then a little bit down on the roots as well. Now it's time to put the leaves on the tree. I'm using the plain, just regular green right now, and I'm just tapping all over, filling in my tree, here and there and everywhere. And then I'll use a little dark green to get some shadows in there, give it a little bit of dimension. And you can also do a little of that dark green on your bushes as well to give it a little more depth. And give it some variety. Don't make just a ball on top of your tree. Have some branches sticking out here and there. And then you're going to use some lighter green, a little yellow mixed with your green, even a little white to give some highlights to your tree. You may need to go back in with a little dark green to give it more depth. Basically just play with the three values, the dark green, the light green, and the middle green. So I'm going in with a little brown and darkening up my people in the truck. I'm writing my license plate numbers on there. I don't know if you can see it, but it says love. And that's it. Here you have it.